Hi everybody, I'm John. I'm one of the educators or interpreters here at the Museum of York County. And today for our Wild Wonders, we are going to talk about animals that you won't see here on good old terra firma, but up in the night sky. I speak, of course, about constellations. There are 88 official constellations in the night sky, and a bunch of other star shapes, we'll say, called asterisms. And today we're going to take a look at some of those constellations, and we're going to relate them to animals you will see here in the Piedmont. So guys, we're going to start with these big fellas. The bears here at the museum are fan favorites, and quite appropriately they have very famous counterparts in the night sky. First up, we have Ursa Major, the great bear. Most people know it as the Big Dipper, but in reality, the Big Dipper is just the tail and rear end of Ursa Major. Ursa Minor, on the other hand, that is also known as the Little Dipper. And of course, we don't have a lot of bears in the Piedmont. Definitely no grizzlies or browns. Absolutely no polar bears. But every once in a while, a black bear will make its way down here from the mountains. Next up, we have the constellation Vulpecula, the fox. And here we've got a gray fox. These guys are very common in the Piedmont. They're especially adapted to climb trees, and they'll eat things like rats, mice, squirrels, plants even. Now the cool thing about the gray fox is his skull. Well, there's an easy way to tell the gray fox's skull apart from that of the red fox. And it's to do with this little shape, this little ridge on the top of its head. The gray fox is in the genus Urocyon, starting with U. So we've just got to remember that that scientific name starts with the letter U and compare it to this ridge here, which you'll see is shaped like a letter U. Okay. Red fox, on the other hand, scientific name Vulpes, genus Vulpes. And as you can see here, the red fox's skull has more of a V shape on its head. So that's a really quick and easy way to tell the difference between a red fox skull and a gray fox skull. Right. Next up, we've got one of the most misidentified animals in the entire museum, and for good reason, because we've got a close relative in the Piedmont here in abundance. This is the lynx, and its constellation is appropriately called Lynx. The relative I'm speaking of course, is the bobcat. Got a lot of those, and they do look similar on the surface. But the bobcat is going to be not quite as fluffy. The lynx is built for the cold up in Canada. He has much thicker coat, so he can deal with that cold, and his feet almost act like little snowshoes with how wide they are, letting him tramp through that snow pretty easily. And finally, we have an animal with no modern ties to the Carolinas, to the Piedmont. The lion, typically associated with Africa today. If you go back about 10,000 plus years, you will actually see lions here in the Carolinas during the last ice age, Pleistocene epoch. Only much, much bigger. As a visual aid, I'm going to present the African lion skull compared to the American lion, approximately 50% bigger. And as far as we know, the largest cat to ever exist. The associated constellation, as most of you guys have probably guessed, is Leo, which is the fifth sign of the zodiac, well known as the fifth sign of the zodiac, and covers birthdays from, I think it's about July 23rd to August 22nd. And that's all we've got for today, guys. So until next time, get out there and explore your Carolina world.